fish on. That didn't take long. Right on top. Wow. Wow. He liked that gold. That brass, rather. Brass and red cripple lure. Getting it done right away. Wow. Gotta love that lure. Well, there we go. Got him. All right. Can't even talk, so we'll get this guy taken care of and get the baits back in the water. That is a nice trout. That's a 1 pounder there. That's gonna look good in the smoker. Nice. Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. Once again, I'm coming to you from the backyard studio, and I'm here to answer another viewer question. Today I'm answering a question submitted by Fred right here in Sacramento. That's right down the hill from me. Fred asked, why do most trout and kokanee trollers, and landlocked salmon trollers too, opt for conventional reels? What is the advantage of using a conventional reel? And well, the thing is, all tackle, most everything in life, it has a trade-off. There are few answers that are 100% right 100% of the time, and that kind of thinking definitely applies to reels. Here's a conventional reel, one of the ones I really like to use when I'm trolling for trout or salmon. This one is spooled up for downrigger fishing or top lining. It's a Abu Garcia 5500 line counter reel, and I've got it spooled up with 10-pound fluorocarbon line. So why do a lot of guys opt for a conventional reel, meaning a reel with a round central spool, and it comes in and out of gear here with a button, and you crank it right here? That's kind of a conventional reel. This one is a level wind reel. Mostly in fresh water we run level winds. Out in the salt water, sometimes when we're using the bigger stuff, we'll run with the non-lever wind. You got to lay the line on yourself. But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. Anyway, reels like these are very conducive to letting out line. Whether you're letting out the line to go down on a downrigger, you're dropping your downrigger ball down and you're thumbing the reel and you're controlling the line as it goes out, or you're spooling the line out behind the boat and you're just kind of thumbing it out as the lure walks out behind the boat until you get it as far back as you want it, and then you put the reel in gear and put the rod in a holder. When it comes to fighting fish, these reels are very good, because what I always tell people, especially new anglers on my boat, when you hook up, I want you to work that reel. I want you to just work that reel the whole time. I just want you to crank the whole time. No matter what the fish does, I want you to keep on cranking. Now, if the fish is holding his own against the drag, or even if he's running, cranking the handle on a conventional reel, it doesn't do anything. It's just turning against the spool. It's not retrieving any line, but it's not causing any damage either. And I'll get to what I'm talking about here in a second. But those are the main advantages of conventional reels. They also have stronger drag systems and stuff like that, but that doesn't really come into play when you're targeting trout and kokanee. So main thing is, it's easy to let line out from a moving boat. It's easy to let line down to a downrigger. And when you're fighting a fish, you can keep on just cranking the handle the whole time with no negative ramifications. Now keep that thought in mind. The disadvantages of a reel like this are when it comes to casting. Now there's some guys that can cast them. I can cast them. I can't cast them as well as I can cast with a spinning reel, that's for sure, but I can't cast them. But one of the drawbacks across the board pretty much comes in the form of casting. They're just not real conducive to casting, especially with light offerings like we use for trout and kokanee and stuff like that, especially trout. You're not going to take this reel, off the bank or when you're plugging and start throwing a little tiny needlefish with it. It's going to be a mess. You're not going to get any distance, and you're probably going to get a big old backlash. Now let's contrast all this with a spinning reel. It's one of my my basic spinning reels, Abu Garcia. This is a Cardinal. It's the 30 size. So this thing holds about 185 yards of, in this case, 8-pound test line. And I actually use this out of the kayak a fair amount because I like to have a second rod that I can just pitch out. But also, sometimes I'll come up on structure and stuff and I like to plug. And I also use this same rod. It's just a just an old Berkeley lightning rod combined with that, kind of that mid-price reel. I'll use this for bank fishing for trout too, whether I'm plugging or trolling. But you kind of see the common thread here. These are all casting applications. They're all casting heavy. When I'm out there fishing, power bait off the bank, I have to cast it out. Obviously, if I'm plugging with a 1/4 ounce Castmaster, I'm casting all the time. And out of the kayak, because I like to just fling a second line out to the side, well, I'm casting there too. Therein lies the advantage of a spinning reel. But here are the disadvantages. Now, those are the advantages over a conventional, but here are the disadvantages you get with a spinning reel. One, if you want to strip something down, it's not as seamless as it is with a bait caster where you can just thumb it. On a spinning reel, how you thumb a spinning reel, you open the bail, you put your finger right there, and you kind of control the line going down like that. It works, no doubt about it. It's just a little, it's just a little wonkier than you'd like it than it is with a conventional reel. It'll definitely work. Now, here's a big disadvantage. Now, as I told you, you could reel against the drag with the conventional reel with no negative consequences. Spinning reels. Spinning reels twist line, and it's tough to not twist your line when using a spinning reel. And here's a couple of the common ways you can twist your line with a spinning reel. One, you open the bail, you grab the line like that, I'm not going to actually make a cast, I'll get tangled up, but you make a cast, plop, it hits the water, and you go like this. You grab the handle, oh boy, you just put a twist in your line. Not a big deal if you do it once, but if you're out throwing a 1/4 ounce Castmaster and you're planning on making 500 casts, you're going to have 500 twists in your line. That's bad, believe me. So when you're out casting with a spinning rod, open the bail, you got the line, you make your cast. See, I'm already snagged. You make your cast, plop, the lure hits down. Don't engage the reel with the handle. Close the bail. That way, you're not putting that twist in there. So you've overcome the one disadvantage. Always close the bail with your hand. Close the bail with your hand. Don't use the handle. That's convenient. You're twisting up your line. So that's problem number one. Now, problem number two comes into play when you've actually hooked a fish. Oh boy, I'm hooked up. I got a monster fish on there. He's fighting me. I'm fighting him. He's running. If you turn the handle on a spinning reel and line isn't coming in, if the fish is just holding his own or if he's running, every turn of that reel is putting twist in the line. Because unlike the conventional reel where nothing happens when you're turning the handle, well, when you're turning the handle on a spinning reel, whether it's retrieving line or not, that bail is rotating. It's rotating every time you turn the handle. And if the line's not coming in, guess what? You're just twisting the line. You're twisting the line against the fish. So those are the two big disadvantages. You put twist in the line if you use the handle to close the bail, and anytime you're fighting a fish, if he's pulling line or he's holding his own and you're turning that handle, you're adding twist to the line. So, so they both have their place. They both have advantages and disadvantages. I will throw you out a final thought though. Let's say you've been out all day and you're on a stream. I've done this in a stream, or you're on a boat. Okay, that's a better example. You got all kinds of twist in your brand new line. It cost you $10 to spool this thing up with fluorocarbon. You're all twisted up. Do you have to throw the line away? No. Take everything off, okay? Get out 10 or 12 feet of line out of the rod. Put the line in the water, the boat's moving forward, and just spool off maybe half your spool. Let it hang out there behind the boat for a little while. It'll get untwisted. Then just simply reel it in. You're good to go. In a stream, if you're stream fishing, you got it current, find a straight area in the river, a nice straight stretch where you can kind of get the rod out over the water. Do the same thing. Start the line out, let the current take it, let it out slowly and incrementally, and then just let it hang in the current for a little while, a couple minutes probably. And then slowly retrieve the line, and you'll find out when it's back on the reel, all the twist is gone. So if you're out fishing a trout stream and you're like, oh man, I'm all tangled up, I'm all twisted, go ahead and try that trick. But anyway, spinning reels, conventional reels, they all have a place. If you lean more towards the bank fishing crowd, or you're more of a caster and retriever, more of a plugger, spinning gear may be better for you. But if you're a hardcore troller and you're top lining and downrigger fishing and all that, go ahead and invest in a nice mid-price. You don't need the super top end stuff. It's hard to beat these 5500 LCs. They're just good reels. Abu Garcia makes a great product. It's budget friendly. It's reliable. They're awesome. I really like them. So anyway, they both have their place. You probably need them both. If you're a big time caster, go with the spinning reel. If you're a big time troller, go with that conventional. And I'm getting out of here, man. I got to go do some push-ups. I got to do some chores, and I got to write an article for the Fishing Info magazine. So I'm signing off. I'm Cal Kellogg. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope that answers your questions about conventional and spinning tackle, and I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed, please take a second to hit that button, and we sure do thank you for all the support you've been giving the channel. Thanks, folks. Cal Kellogg here. Catch you later.